Oh, you're right. This map is absolute pants. No, literally, guys. If you turn them, look, it shouldn't be called Lakeside. It looks like pants. But things are looking pretty pants off, and time to go to bed for DeMu. 3-0 lead for B. This is looking done. Can DeMu claw back? English, a good place to start up against the Ayyubids. For B, I mean, there's certain civs that can create really weird game states of a pivotal transitions, and I do believe Ayyubids to be one of them. So curious to see what B has got cooking in game number. It's gonna be advancement. Wait, without dot. Wait, what? Okay, this is weird. Wait, this is the Pro Scouts build. Oh no. He's ignoring water altogether. Now, what's really important is DeMu needs to scout the water situation. Because if he does the old school build for English here, it's going to be like opening archery ship, right? That archery ship's going to be a waste. Yeah, this is Pro Scouts. We've seen a few players doing this. I'm sure MSN's somewhere in chat right now going, oh my god, B's doing it. It's good, it's good. That's exactly MSN's voice, I assure you. So it's been hit or miss when we've seeing it so far. It's really good and crafty on a map like this because the thing is, on this map, the deer are all linked to one location, one area, one part of the map. There's 32 deer on offer on this spawn. Not bad. To put it another way, instead of just saying, oh, not bad, you end up getting, I think it's 8,000 food if you get all that deer. It's pretty crazy. Now, DeMu long-term is going to be better off by having deep water fish. He's not going to be able to accelerate at the same pace here. When do you use Springwell versus Mango? You don't use Springwell versus Mango anymore. Springwell versus Mango is the quickest way to lose a game in your life. Oh, wait. Wait, is it not Pro Scouts? Oh, he went late dock. Interesting. So we aren't going to be getting the Pro Scout build. MSN is in shambles right now. We're instead going to be getting the fast tech timing for the archer ship. So this is the classic Ayyubid build. That's intriguing, though. I guess he'd done that to maybe try and feign existence on water. I don't think it's even about that, though, because like DeMu can't scout you that early. The logic is if you go advancement first before moving out, you're going to get a much cleaner tech up timing, probably save about like 15 seconds, 20 seconds at least, by delaying the dock, right? Because you start the tech up sooner and the dock can be gathered for afterwards. So, archer ship coming out, fishing boat follow-up would make a lot of sense here. DeMu yet to start his age up. I'm expecting Council Hall. It's going to be Abbey of Kings, though. So he doesn't want to go for the pressure play early on. I like that comment. Like, we're talking about how late it is for DeMu, and there's just... I have a colleague from Sweden. He goes to bed at 20:00. So, yeah. It's late. I mean, sure, but, like, people in different countries go at different times. That's like, my grandpa goes to bed at 4 p.m. Man, is it late now at 7 p.m. No, it is late, though. Like, right now in Sweden, I believe... Is it midnight? I'm trying to remember if they're 2 hours ahead. It's pretty late. But it's even later for B. Remember, he's in Russia. So I think he's 3 hours ahead of me, so it's 1 a.m. right now for him. But B seems to be a bit more of a degenerate when it comes to his gaming hours, right? He seems more used to it. So let's talk a little bit about the Abbey of Kings, because it is an interesting choice into Ayyubids due to the Desert Raider. Like, usually the issue with English King is he can't really do any damage if your opponent builds one Desert Raider, because he just keeps you away. Now, the trade-off is, like, obviously, over time, the English King can kill the Desert Raiders, but he has to heal long-term. The whole point, though, is that you don't necessarily get this huge value window, because not only can a Desert Raider block you, you can also counterattack you. I do think it's a bit weird against English, because if you counterattack the wrong resource, someone I've seen once or twice, I think more players need to be doing. Let's say a Desert Raider walked here, take all these villagers and attack it, right? Because it's pure damage on a very squishy unit. So, we did have the archer ship. Bag the follow-up is already there. DeMu doesn't have the ability to push out a boat. So we already have the fishing getting fully idled. We should have his own fishing boats getting added in now, because right now this play hasn't netted an advantage for B. It's just stopped DeMu from having one. This is tricky, though. I don't think DeMu wants to play. Right? Like, you're so far behind and you know it. This is an interesting build from B, because we've seen it on maps like Kawasan, for example. Ayyubids can get a pre-10-minute GG out of you. It's that bloody strong, because the dock's cheap, only 75 wood. And the advancement timing just comes in so swiftly. There's not many civs that can compete with it if they're fishing. So sick read by B. And I'm kind of glad we didn't get pro scouts. We might still down the line. It's a good map for it. But now we're going to get DeMu leaning on the fact that this is a map that supports defensive play. It's camping in the corner time. 2 TC from English. I don't know if this was his intent originally. I think maybe we were probably going to be looking at some more pressure. But after what happened on water is kind of what he's left with. Yeah, and he cancels the Smoke Ship. It's just not worth it. I think he glimpsed the demo and said, oh, yeah, this won't work. King is already on the way, but we do have a Desert Raider coming in return from B. The wall is already up, so there won't be a rotation of back resources. And no, DeMu is from the UK, but he lives in Sweden. Hence why he was able to subtly sneak himself into King of the North. Because he has a Swedish passport. But does he have big Swedish meatballs to take on B? That's what we've been waiting to see an answer for all series. Game 1. Gotta give it to him, man. It looked really competitive. It looked like there was hope there in the Order of the Dented. The last 2 games have just blown the wind out of him. Nothing like a good old 2 TC English build to recover that arc, though. My worry is B can fast castle from here, and the timing means that Growth Wing is basically going to eclipse the value of the TC, and then it just turns into relics, right? With which 4 relics into 2 TC himself. Pretty thumbs up. Very nice for B. You're weird. You feel bad if anyone gets clean beaten. I don't know. There's like some elegance to it, right? Like some of the picks that B done, like the Ottoman pick versus Delhi, even though it's a clean sweep, that's really impressive the way he played it. But like, you know, one thing I'll say is, someone I try, well, not try, but like I don't have control of it, but pray that we don't get is like, I don't like it when one player dominates tournaments for a long time. And I think RTSs have that maybe more frequently than other games. Because the perfectionist nature of 1v1, right? Because then you kind of, like, you get this situation where it's like, damn, when will he stop winning? I think it comes and goes, it wanes and rifts, right? Like, you have moments where you're like, damn, when is this guy's streak going to end? This is incredible. Followed by moments of like, damn, when is this guy going to lose? It's just like he's winning every single time. And, you know, maybe it's the bias of the RTSs I follow, but I feel like I've seen RTSs maybe have that problem more than other esports. Villager. Looks like B was going for an outpost rush. Archership is going to try to protect here, but the king is a problem. He should be able to get the... Wait. The demo. Oh, the demo! He does get the villager snipe, but it costs him the king. That was kind of sick from B. Okay, so able to get the worker kill at least, and that's important. It means that DeMu's not going to get blocked on his tree line. It's not actually about the gold, more about the trees. So 2 TC. It's going to get some opportunity to pay off here, but B isn't going to make it a big window of opportunity. Should be Growth Wing coming in now. There you go. Gets queued up. So 2 minutes out. Means that DeMu can basically build himself a 6 eco advantage from where he's at now. But he's already 3 behind. Meaning, when B reaches Castle Age, he's raw ahead again. Wondering if maybe B's going to go for the transport ship play. We've got a lot of fishing boats right now. That this is the point where the transfer makes sense. Whole idea that people evolved Lakeside is that if you win water like this... Oh my god, it even has pocket fish over here on the shoreline. But the logic on this map is meant to be if you win water like this, you can transport ship, and this villager comes across here. And then, voila, you have got the deep water on the other side as well. Meanwhile for DeMu, probably going to need another farm cluster, at least one more. Honestly, I swear, English players are just allergic to berries. I feel like you need castle very aggressively here, so eating the berries isn't a bad thing per se. 41 villagers to 34. Basically, he's going to have like a true lead when it comes to villagers at least of 2 by the time tech completes. I imagine we're just looking at a simple Camel Lancer opening. Imagine if DeMu does something unhinged like maybe King's Palace. I mean, you know, what's free TC amongst friends, you know? He won't. White Tower is just such a good map for defending in the corner. on here, right? Like, it just gets too much value. And what's up, Picture? Thank you very much for the Prime sub. Wait a second. Picture, what is a Prime sub and how do people use that? Is that something you get for free by having Amazon Prime and it allows you to get rid of ads on Twitch? That sounds genius. Just like Magnavoz, who was genius enough to raid us. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Hope you had a good stream. And once again, voila, we do have a white tower on the way. Does want to short wall this so there isn't a wraparound, because right now Camel Lancers could leak in. It's a bit weird, actually, the placement, when you think about it, but there's nowhere better to put it right now, I'd say. Yeah, it's just like any sort of grab to the south side is too far off. This does still kind of pseudo-protect the farms, but there is open opportunities on the flanks from B. Camel Lancers now getting queued up. And we should be seeing a Moss drop pretty urgently here. Still haven't got that villager slipping in. Hey, sup, dinosaur guy. That's a smart lad right there using that Prime sub. Welcome to Swarm. You know, but I'm pretty sure there's more birds in that picture, so you guys should keep subbing. All right, ones if you think B's going to win this, twos if you think DeMu's going to take it. Because I'm looking at the way you guys predicted, and it was interesting enough, still about a 50-50 split. 55% of points predicted on B. Dervishes have been queued up by B. DeMu desperately needs an army, and it's going to have to be crossbows. Like, this is the thing in this matchup. Sometimes you'll just see mass knights, you feel really good. You can't do it here against Camel Lancers. It's a pointless play. Gulam's already coming, so that's actually going to be really good for DeMu. He does have to budget cut himself by going spears. He needs them against Camel Lancers anyway, but you can't afford anything better than spears with crossbows at this stage. I'm surprised B still hasn't gone for this play across, though. Like, I'm a bit worried that he's misplaying his economy. Right? Deepwater Fish is exhausted. You can't just play 8 like this and not have it run out. Whereas if you had a dock on the other side, you could split 4-4, you have infinite food. I don't have any... Okay, there we go. Stone gathering in mass now. I was about to say, we don't have any. It's now 14. So it's giving me the 2 TC transition. I mean, there's an argument that B is so far ahead he could go 3 TC. I don't think you need to be that greedy, but sometimes, like, Ayyubid players, they get really paranoid about English timings in Imperial. Like, you know, realistically, English should feel better in Imp age for this game. I do think there's some variance to that, and the main one is that Mass Gulam's hand cannoneers with the Sultan's Mamluks buff hit like a truck. So we've got a wrap around here. DeMu did get wind of it, though. Second TC now being dropped in. Honestly, we'd just love to see a third TC on the deer. In fact, we're getting 3 TC. B hasn't stopped gathering. This is cool, actually, because what you can do is you can TC drop the deer, gather the stone behind, move sacred sites, and keep drop. There's a nice fluid momentum here for B. DeMu should be able to contest the keep at that pacing, though. Like, we're already talking about, what, 3 farm clusters. Monks are going to be picking up what they can, so we're at least going to get 1 relic coming home. I guess every little counts. Like, you have to remember, DeMu's trying to scale crossbows with very limited gold. Greed is good. Exactly. Why stop at 2 TC? Maybe 3, 4, 5. Looks like instead it is about that keep drop, though. So, all stone gathered. Unfortunately, the nerfs to keeps makes it a little bit hard. He's still 50 shy. Or maybe we just want 40. Okay, we've got TC coming in now. Has moved down to the deer. I think DeMu would really benefit from just 1 or 2 knights. And looks like we do have the transport ship play now. And funnily enough, B, he was trying to snatch the other relic. Won't be able to find it in the end, but we are going to get that dock drop. So more food now for B. Needs it with the amount of farms coming in from DeMu. Yeah, I wondered how long it was going to take him. Was a little bit greedy to wait for the dervish as well. And looks like he does scout. That's a great read. This is a really crafty outpost. We've seen a few players do this now. With a spring on placement, it kills the fishing boats. So this kills B's opportunity to blow more food. It means he's going to have to look towards farms. And that will slow the game down. Exactly what Ben needs. I don't know, man. This is starting to look a bit better for DeMu now. He also forgot to pick up the safest relic on the map. I don't know how that happened, but with 5 dervishes, he hasn't actually got it. Armorclad down the way. Oh boy, B's comp is starting to look pretty bad. Men-at-arms crossbows. Gutham's worst nightmare. Unit he can't kill fast, and the unit he dies to faster. Outpost also being extended, so DeMu starting to march up to where B is finding his lifeline here. This is a game where farms are now only starting to get added in for him. So can't really afford to be without deer right now. Weirdly enough, DeMu, he doesn't have a scout though. Okay, this is like a classic, isn't it? Because when you play as English and you build White Tower, that's your stables if you really want one. There's a problem with that though. If the White Tower is your stables, you are missing a key unit out of it. You can't build scouts out of this. So without having stables, he's not going to sacrifice a villager to get a scout out, right? This is the problem. It means that B right now is getting away from something he wholly, absolutely should not. Cheeky Git as well was trying to take a lumber camp placement. Looks like DeMu. He's going to start blindly punting through here. Okay. This game may be about to get quite Benny Boy favored. B knows it as well. He has to pull back with the deer gathering, be a little bit hesitant. Has got the outpost to give him an early for warning. And DeMu, with this outpost, he should see what's happening over here finally. I want to say... No, he's just shy. He won't know. Sacred sites are now being locked in, so Ben is going to have that ticking time bomb. It's got to be said, we're reaching that point where DeMu could very easily transition into Imperial Age with a Berkshire in the center of the map. A pretty impactful Berkshire at that. Yeah, B's not really ready to contest that yet. We have seen quite often Sacred Sites win this map, which I like, actually. I'm a fan of that. In some ways, I'm not going to say in every way it feels like a better King of the Hill, but like the element of Sacred Sites, right? I think the thing that stops it being better King of the Hill is how people feel about fishing. But this element, I do quite enjoy. So that Men-at-Arms are getting rid of the dock now. I mean, the spring would already count at this play, though. Right, like, these fishing modes basically get 2 hit. And yeah, it's pronounced Berkshire. I'm a British person. Can authenticate. It's not the Berkshire. Or the Berkshire. Did B get Springles? Oh no, why did you... Shut up! Why did you say... Why did you have... You know how we feel on this channel. You don't mention the S word. What are you doing, man? DeMu had hope. He had a twinkle in his eye, a glimmer of belief for his men-at-arms, and now, look at what you've invoked. B is building into the Springles again. There's no A, so how's it bark? Great question. Have you ever heard of the English language? Yes, then there you go. That's all the explanation you need. Ah, yes, the impervious counted as Springles. Build a wall. Also, like, because if you really want to start diving into the language, remember, there is no K noise in knife. So, welcome to English. That's right. Leicester, or is it Leicester? See? My language is all kinds of warped. Don't get me started on Warwick. Or Rochester. Just don't, guys, just don't look up names of things in England. Do yourself a favor. Just assume it's all cursed and wish that the French had taken us over. I mean, they did. I don't know how much that was historically their fault, actually, now that I think about it. It was the Americans who ruined English? Oh, that's true. It was you guys, for sure. Waste paper basket. Aluminum. Oh, no. Guys, we're not doing this again. Oh, we have 5 Springolds. We're doing that again. Berkshire is on the way. However, B sees it. DeMu only half complete here. This may be a little bit too ballsy, a little bit too brazen. He has got the concave. Hasn't got the blocker, though. Camel Lancers are going to lead around to the back. In the meantime, Spearmen chase onto the Mangonel. The Gulam's taking a little bit too long to get in range here. Mango's also overextending. Springald's not able to mop up these spears fast enough here. And the villagers will not be denied their prize. Berkshire online. B needs to retreat. Sacred Site timer will keep on ticking for DeMu. An age advantage that B cannot mirror easily. And an opportunity for the first time in Midweek Muster Number 9's Grand Finals for DeMu to get on the board. And what a time to do it. He said nothing but perfection. Game 4 may be exactly what he needs, because if he wins here, we will see a redraft. We will see the potential for English to come again. Ayyubid, Juji, all of it. An opportunity to potentially outdraft B. The series definitely not over yet. B does have time to rally another surge. But does he have time to also go Imperial? A lot of horseman play, but for DeMu, that just makes it easy peasy, spearman pleasy. Doesn't seem to be going to it. I mean, in fairness, he saw Gulems, right? So you're kind of hesitant to add in spears. Instead, we've actually got Lombos coming through. Where are all the B believers now? The B levers, because what I'm seeing is a lot of advantageous text for DeMu. Even volley getting added in. Really interesting how much he's leaning into Lombos, but pretty good defensive unit when your opponent has to fight into you. Decent at sniping out the Mangoes. You know that B has to rush Imperial. That's going to be 2 minutes on the clock. Then on top of that, adjustable crossbars has another lofty chunk of time in, right? It's not going to give you much wiggle room when you consider that in grand total, that's going to end up being 3 minutes and 12 seconds before we can really fight. And we only have 5.5 minutes left on the clock. B, he has triggered it. It is going to be the advisors, Adabegs, coming in a minute and 30. Guys, you know what you do with them? What civs did I say are OP with Springalds? You remember clock towers because they're really tanky? What if we just, I don't know, stuck an Adabeg in a siege workshop? It's crazy, I know, but hear me. What if we just basically mini clock tower? No reinforcement wing? 9. Your opponent could have Lombos, right? And it's a Berkshire. I don't think Desert Raiders gives you the dive point. Is this the perfect opportunity for Master Smiths? No. He hasn't got range tech too. I just don't. I think Master Smiths is bad. You get all the blacksmith tech straight away, but you pay, what, 3,600 resources to get a one-off saving of 500 times 4, right? So you save 2,000. Desert Raiders is a better rebate. Eventually fully pays itself back. Scenarios is now coming in. B's running into additional problems. You know, every time it looks like he's solving for it with Imperial coming, maybe adjustable crossbars, there's another problem. If we get silk bowstrings, I think the Mangoes are going to struggle here. The armor tactics instead for DeMu. Okay, this is going to make B's entire comp depressing. The only thing that's going to carry him is... I can't believe I'm saying it. Mass Springolds! Tech up complete for B. Elites have been queued up. Meanwhile, these wonderful British people are going to be queuing up to murder people in the Middle East. We have got men-at-arms marching deep. Does the 5th age up give better benefits than the Imp? No, it caps Imperial. But you can go back for the Desert Raiders, which is pretty nice in the hyper late. Who would win? Morale victory for the English. Took a long time to kill those two. Or 3, rather. And that was pre-EAT. We have got Elite Army Tactics also on the way for B. Hand Cannoneer switch up is a pretty vile one. DeMu is now mirroring with his own, and those Hand Cannoneers will be better with the attack speed buffer. He even has Network of Citadels. And you know it's going to be there in the fight because B has to push into him here. Stonewall has almost been cracked. He never actually finished it. And the Springles... Wait, did he... Oh, he select all armied. Wait, but this locks his pop, right? Because these technically exist. So right now he's got like 10 pop locked into this. He really needs to finish them. Has actually got the building coming in now again from the Hand Cannoneers. This is quite a lot of worker kills, by the way. I think he was at 110 before. It's adding up. The men-at-arms are still not dead, man. I think this is problematic because B, he's getting idled on farms in particular. And he needs to just bloat a lot of units to send in here, right? He needs to be his StarCraft form and Zerg like there's no tomorrow. Oh, no, he ran the Trevor range. Oh, oops. You were meant to be the counter. That's going to slow him down. He's going to have to dive it. Silk Bowstrings is coming in. This tech gets dirty. So remember, that's going to put longbows up to 8.5 tower range, which would counter hand cannoneers. It's interesting that DeMu like prepped that tech and still went HCs himself. Also, I think maybe DeMu has a problem here with production. Not that many archery ranges, right? Like, considering how long that's been queuing. Yeah, he has 8 archery ranges, but hand cannoneers are very slow pump. He also needs to lose some units here. Why is everyone obsessed with Springles? We don't say them out loud. If you do, it channels more of them. It's like a special hack word that just spawns 5 more when B's playing. March of Death coming in. He needs to kind of force a squashed fight here to make the Springhorns and the Manjaniques worth it. Can he do it, though? Shots coming through. The Spearman just mopping up that front line of horsemen too fast. The Gulums are dying to the crossbows. We're getting a redraft. It's undeniable. We're 40 seconds away. Benny Boy surely has done it. It's a lot of siege. The siege can't really go in for those decaps. And the Berkshire seems a little bit too strong at this point. There is hope. There is belief of a better tomorrow for Benny Boy. One where he rises from his slumber, triumphant in midweek muster. And it could all start here. Game 4. And he's finally on the board. If B wins, you do not ask him about the Springles. It's a secret sauce, man. You can't mess with it. We're back. Game 5. DeMu has survived to a redraft. Can he make the reverse sweep happen? If B wins here, it is all over. If DeMu wins, momentum swings. Good map for it as well. Borderlands, HRE versus Chinese. I mean, Holy Roman Empire, they can play pro scouts quite well. They can also do some crazy all-ins such as mine work builds. I'm actually a big fan of that against China. I think China playing later is favorable for them. Holy Roman Empire looking to play more into the feudal castle feels advantageous here. And with a front spawning gold like this, the tree lines with the way they spawn as well, I actually think there's a lot of reward to pressure. A little bit surprised DeMu didn't try for the Spearman opening. It has proven fairly impactful actually against China on this map, especially with Civ like HRE. Would have definitely been able to punish B considering he only went for a double villager opening, and he didn't go for an Imperial official. So could have screwed up his early efficiency. Yeah, that's been the trade-off that people have noticed. These Pro Scouts priority builds usually require Imperial Academy cleanly into your Imperial official, and you don't want to be opening with an official from the TC. So what we've been seeing from a few players, Mongols, HRE, any Civ that can justify it really, is Spearman Racks openings which arrive just in time on maps like this to stop you getting enough gold to play into Pro Scouts. But looks like there won't be a blocker at all, which means DeMu's going to have to directly compete. And the tricky part about that is you can't rush the tech the way that the Chinese can. Yeah, no, the Chinese, for them, it's the bee's knees. Well, not sure if it's specifically bee's knees, but whoever has them, it's their knees. Remember, when they supervise, it only takes 30 seconds. Go Bold Monk. Yeah, I mean, that's the question, right? When DeMu plays a Civ where the monks aren't fully bald, is he weaker or stronger? Is there power in hair? Or is there a crippling, debilitating weakness from the fact that this guy couldn't accept baldness? Now, the counter-argument would be that I think prelates willingly choose to shave their head like this, which means that's almost like a next level of power, right? Going bald is a very, very obvious stylish play. Trying to look good with a hair cropping like that ain't easy. And that Archon isn't easy to praise. Oh my dear God, look at the spawn. This is kind of horrible for DeMu. The gold, the berries are out in the open. There's no trees nearby. The other trees have nothing nearby. Like, this looks trash, but it's because it's the best he has. And he wishes he had bee spawn. Double tree line would have been golden here. So we're likely going to see a feudal push. I don't think you can just play this into pro scout. I mean, he has got 2 on gold, but yeah, we're only 3 on wood. He is just rushing pro scouts, isn't he? And we might see stables first and then an opening of 2 horsemen. Because my worry is, like, how can you realistically rush pro scouts against China's aggressive timing? Because if you both trigger the tech at the same time, your opponent's already 45 ahead. Yeah, I don't think B plays ladder on this account. He probably has an account he plays ladder on, but it's not this one. All right, so wood gathering begins. Good news right now for DeMu is he has 5 of his 17 villagers buffed. Woo-wee! Okay, yeah. Actually, no. I think he might be able to gather sheep in range here. Even if it's not in range, you can always just pull the sheep south side. Speaking of sheep, he's got 12 in total. So, reasonable haul. 16 on B's end. This is... I don't know, like... So we set this up to the players on whether they think it's like a remake. I'm trying to figure out whether this is vile enough that, like, you could call for a remake. It's pretty bad for DeMu. But it's not like something's inherently broken with the spawn, right? Which is, like, what you'd be looking for a remake. It's just a very unfortunate spawn. Alright, so Rax is coming in. We do have Spearman. Yeah, but not opening Spearman and now doing it on a delay is a bit weird. It can work because the cool thing about Spears here is your marching drills allows you to chase down scouts and kill them very, very efficiently. So I quite like this, but B is going to be opening the stables. Obviously, I'm already prioritized pro scouts. We'll likely be seeing an immediate switch into archery range here. And then you can already see that Jimmy's prepped for that as well. Yeah, so this is, despite the egregious spawn, a good start for Ben. You still can't believe they're still going? Yeah, Billy, like, is it a weird sight to see your boy Ben awake this late? Now, all those evenings when you tried to ask him to play games with you late and he went, sorry, I don't ever stay awake this late. You've thrown it all into question now. He was lying. He can keep his eyelids open this late into the evening. I know, it's a shocker. He's probably drinking a pint, actually. That's usually how Ben stays awake. Some people get sleepy from drinking beer. It seems to allow DeMu to keep fueling himself. So spears have arrived. Archers on the way. We already have an archery response coming in from B. We will need to supervise to defend this, because otherwise you're going to see probably double archery range quite quickly from DeMu. I don't know if you can do double archery range with this spawn, though. This is one of those weird situations where, like, double archery range just burns you through too fast. Like, you've already got 12 villagers on a tiny tree line. Like, remember, this was double the size to begin with. All right, at this rate, that prelate's going to have more hair on his head than there's going to be trees left on this in the next 45, 60 seconds. You know, that was a weird thing about going to Sweden, actually. Is like, you guys see cider as quite fancy, but the cider you see as quite fancy is British cider. Whereas in England, we always see like things like Recorder League. The Scandinavian ciders is very fancy. Oof. Yeah, no, at this point, this tree line is receding quicker than the French war lines in World War II. It's pretty much already gone, and he's going double archery range anyway. This is starting to pivot quite well for B. We have men arms switch off from DeMu, but he didn't go pro scouts, right? So he needs a lot of farms. He's only got 6 sheep remaining. He hasn't got good wood income to buff most of the farms. Honestly, I think DeMu, when he saw this spawn, he should have just went mine work. This feels like the type of game where mine work is a necessity after you see your spawn. Mine work could have changed a lot about this, right? You could have opened horsemen into spears and just A-clicked your way to victory with a small group of archers behind. But this looks pretty grim, man. I think DeMu has until like minute 14 to do something good, something very impactful, or he's just going to be dead. Undermesh is coming in. That is a smart read. It's not easy to get ahead of Chinese on techs, but with the build that he's gone for, B's unlikely to be rushing blacksmiths with just archers. It's not like a Zhug. I think also mine work just feels better on this map in general because of the tiny tree lines, because you always have to keep moving around, right? So still down queued up immediately afterwards. B, did he even glance it? He may have seen it. This is tricky. Defender's advantage is real, guys. And arms are just being ignored right now. He's going to have to push this, and you already see Undermesh is being queued up. With supervision, that can be there like that. This is what makes it so goddamn dirty. Trade out begins. Steel Dara hasn't come through yet. Good micro from B. Just kind of staggering his arrival here. Spear count is low. Marching drills will keep a few left alive here, but not much. He should be able to just shove this all the way away, so no pressure reaching his economy. And now organic pressure on the DeMus, because would you like to see that tree line? Oh, wait, it's gone like a magician's parlor trick. Villagers now moving out of range of the buff entirely. So Archer's not a realistically scalable play anymore for DeMu. Not unless he wants to add in prelates. Farm count is sitting at 5. So he doesn't want to pull that prelate away from the Archon at all at this stage. I think you need to add in another prelate. B now even getting to the Barbican. So wondered if he would just try to raw rush castle, but the cool thing about Barbican here is it stops DeMu from sending it on you in feudal now. Right? Protects what you need as well, right? You got the gold covered. Your back tree line's pretty safe. Deer are very deep. You know, DeMu would at this stage need to get, what, 3-4 rams? And without the Archon buff on the tree line, 1 ram feels like a challenge here. Horseman, I'm just gonna rip around the back here. There's only 1 spear, guys. DeMu ain't looking too good. He's feeling about as good as Spider-Man with the Thanos snap. I mean, the only advantage right now is he can at least kite away from the archers. And that's kind of it. Melee armor now coming in from B. An admirable effort, man. I feel bad for Ben. This series kind of started off with a very interesting dynamic game. Then it felt like he lost his mojo a bit. All of a sudden, he starts to kind of get that pump stride going again, feeling good about it. And then you come into a Borderland, deciding game with a spawn like this. I don't know if DeMu has really been practicing mine work per se, and that might be why he didn't just think, oh, this has to be mine work, right? Because it is a very weird build. B, on the other hand, we know can execute that one quite well. You know, it feels defeat is what we're seeing and what we're saying, right? But like, what you got to keep in mind is for DeMu to win this, you have to blow 30 men at arms, go castle. And, you know, while there's a world in which that can happen, like, what's the response? What's B going to have in that same time? We can already see step 1 of it. Before you even have 10 men at arms, he's going to be able to be on his way to castle age. Horseman. Even poking at the reinforcing MAA. I don't see DeMu's archer to lancers here. Or even just mass Zhug, actually. Better Zhug just kind of decimates everything. Even plastic swordsman. Now in the Bloom Marine to make it easy to kill these villagers. And keep in mind, like, this resource that can be easily reached is DeMu's safest resource right now. There we go. He's pulling the trigger. Clock tower now on the way. Damn. I mean, that's the way it swings sometimes. I think what you'll give him is, like, this creativity. I think if this was a more orderly series in general, I don't think B might be saying, like, DeMu in that more orderly fashion where you play standard, play mid. He has very good strategies and executions, but I don't think just has B been competing on that level. It's been the creativity with which he approached some of these opening picks in the draft. It really does also just feel like China is the pick. It is, with most map pools right now, I'd say the single best pick in the game. I actually think China is more valuable than Delhi, HRE, Byzantines. It's the king. Maybe Juji, like, is the competitor. But until Pro Scouts meta changes, my feeling on that isn't going to change. They are the kings. If you get them in the draft, you're in the driving seat. And I'm trying to remember, like, draft 1, they split it, right? Like, DeMu got the Juji. Draft 2, I believe it got banned on both sides. Meanwhile, B once again gets his Chinese. Just looks brutal. Lancer's already being queued up. Archer's being vetted up as well. I mean, this feels like curtains closed. DeMu, it's going to have to be Regnitz. He only has 11 men at arms. By the time you tech up, your opponent's probably going to be like, what, 7 Lancers? Maybe more. Regnitz is coming up, but it is a forward one, and it's going to get scouted early here. Archer's moving in. They're going to chase the villagers. That is going to reveal the build. I'm not sure if he saw that. But the Lancers are so close by, you can't help but sense the danger is going through the ceiling here. The risk getting too high. My men-at-arms are just desperate for attention. Going to start diving in again. This is where DeMu has to make his stand. He can't really afford to back away. The worry I have is that the men-at-arms number isn't really going up. And Spearman coming in when there's still so many archers. What are you meant to do with this? This is brutal. Lancers, they now see the targets. And with only 4 spearmen, DeMu does not have any easy way of protecting his economy here. Admirable effort, folks, but it looks like we are going to be ending up with a 4-1 scoreline, giving B back-to-back midweek muster wins. A big morale booster for him going into the EGC Winter Tournament. I think B stocks are rising as well, man. It's kind of crazy, right? B fell off, then he took a break from AoE 4. He focused on Myth, he focused on, you know, Stormgate. Also, there was some Zero Space. Then he comes in again towards the end of the year, and I'm impressed at how quickly he's recovered that lost progress, right? Dude's cooking, and, you know, if we can just get beyond the Springwood obsession, or maybe if he just holds off and waits for that inevitable Springwood buff, might all of a sudden look like a year for the 3D clan member to dominate all. So Spearmen are going to get cleared up. At that point, Lancers will just commit in. There is a handful of crossbows here. I don't know if there's a way, though. Archers are already targeting them down and chasing them away. His last stand, because Benny Boy has nothing left in the chamber behind this. Damn. Crazy series. Let me know what you guys thought about this. I think B is cooking, man. What do you think B is going to be like in the EGC event? Where do you think it's going to finish? Is someone brazenly saying first? Are we saying podium finish? Could it be B's year to shine finally? A long path, one of redemption to this arc, but I agree. Like, you know, Vortex as well. Both of them taking the break, come back to Myth. They look refreshed. They look buzzing like a bee. Stinging like one too. Cool series. Let me know if you guys have been enjoying this. If you have, make sure you are following across on the YouTube where a lot of these get uploaded, where the VODs are going to be for you to watch as well. You can also catch us live on Twitch and YouTube. So make sure you're tuning into those so you can be part of these amazing moments. Week number 9 complete. We still have 21 weeks to go. And things are starting to get exciting. I'll see you in the next chapter.